Hello, everyone. I'm really bored with my own house, so I have taken advantage of the Phoenix Art Museum's wonderful offer to provide virtual backgrounds from their beautiful miniatures created by Mrs. Thorne, known obviously as the Thorne Rooms. So I'm kind of in tourist mode here. When I was a child, the Art Institute of Chicago had a really major Thorne Room collection. And it was a huge treat for me. My grandmother would take me down and we would have lunch and we would explore all these tiny rooms. They were just so magical. And the detail is fabulous. You can open the books and there are real books inside. There's real sewing kits. Mrs. Thorne spent an enormous amount of time and absolutely pots of money creating all these little rooms. In England once, I went to see Queen Alexandra's, I think it's Queen Alexandra's dollhouse. So Mrs. Thorne was not alone in thinking what a wonderful hobby this was. Anyway, as you can see, I am in, let me move, a library. Not my own, but quite elegant, probably Georgian, I think, looking at the architecture. And I've downloaded 2 or 3 more, so I'm going to vary the backgrounds for little conversations. I want to talk to you today about 2 books that are coming up, Write Smartly, first week in August, both of which are terrific. Any of you who did not read City of Windows, now see, this is where this green screen thing gets to be complicated because it's really hard to put a book, maybe we can do this. Robert Povey, Under Pressure, is the sequel to City of Windows, which I thought was one of the most electrifying thrillers of 2019. And here again, it's the same incredible pace. Dr. Lucas Page, who's been seriously injured, partially crippled, certainly maimed in his career with the FBI, is an astrophysicist, and what he's really good at is patterns and mathematics, running mathematics and discerning patterns. So in City of Windows, we had a serial sniper ranging around New York City. Really terrible, terrible deaths, impossible to catch. And without giving anything away, I thought Povey brought off anyway, a really kick-ass ending. So in this book, he's reluctant to go back to work with the FBI. He has a wife and an adopted family. He really loves spending time with them and the children. And unfortunately, the work he does always puts them at risk. But there he is with his special skill set, and actually, he really likes to hunt, even if he thinks that he shouldn't. So it starts out with a gala at the Guggenheim Museum, that really iconic New York institution with amazing architecture. So I don't want to spoil it by telling you what happens, but let's say it doesn't go well. And from there, things spiral out and we appear to have another serial predator at work. It's hard to say what the agenda is. It's hard to figure out anything. And so Dr. Lucas Page, once again, comes into action and uses his skills to figure it out. Povey lives in Toronto. If he were able to travel, I would certainly have had him here twice for City of Windows and now Under Pressure, but that hasn't worked out. Didn't work out last year, and this year, of course, he can't. So we are going to do an event on Sunday, August the 9th at, I think, is it noon, I think. I'll have to look. Either noon or 1 o'clock, right before Lee Child joins us to interview Mark Billingham for Mark's new book called Crybaby. So it's a really dynamite Sunday. I'm pretty sure Povey's at noon and Lee Child and Mark are at 1 p.m. on Sunday, August the 9th. And we are going to have signed book plates for Mr. Povey, which is the best we can hope to do for a Canadian author. But you know what, the book won't read any better, whether it has a book plate or a signature or whatever. It's just a really fabulous book. And if you miss City of Windows, I can't recommend it enough to get started. It's a real staff favorite. Okay, my second book, see if I can do this right again, by Karen Slaughter, It's called The Silent Wife. And many of you started reading Karen with Blindsided, her first book, set in Grant County, where Jeffrey Tolliver, divorced husband of Sarah Linton, was chief of police, and Sarah was the medical examiner. And they had a number of very testing cases. Karen has always tackled tough subjects. She's not afraid to do that. And then a third person came into play, whom I personally loathed, called Lena. And I was delighted when Lena finally was exiled to Macon, Georgia. But that's another story. Anyhow, and that's just my personal preference, but I'm allowed to have them, bookseller or not. Eventually, Karen thought that Atlanta would be a good stage for big books, and she introduced Will Trent, who works for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and has a very difficult past. And eventually, as things work out, Sarah Linton has come to Atlanta, and they are romantic partners. Will's actual investigative partner is called Faith. So I thought we were done with Grant County and Jeffrey. But as it turns out, in this book, Karen has done this brilliant thing, which is that she has a serial rapist with a long history of crimes, and a con who actually is good at conning, who offers up some sort of clue or identity, but it casts a light back on Jeffrey and investigation in Grant County. And so we get to return to Grant County and to Jeffrey's life, to his marriage to Sarah, or to his relationship with Sarah. And the story toggles back and forth between present and past, between Atlanta and Grant County. And I thought that was just genius, because I really miss Jeffrey. I don't miss Lena, who also comes back, but there it is. And I thought, how clever of her to have written a book that allows us to revisit characters that we were really fond of, and do it in a dynamic and completely natural way. It does not feel contrived at all, the way she sets it up. So that's my other recommendation. We are doing the virtual book launch for Karen on Monday, August the 3rd at 5 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Her publisher has created a nifty cell phone pocket that goes with the book. So if you order it from us, we will ship it with the cell phone pocket, and we're doing free shipping in order to encourage you to order it. So we hope you will join us. You can also listen to podcasts that we create of our events on our own podcast channel. They're up to over 25,000 downloads, I think, now. And we put some of our events on IGTV. We try to put some on YouTube. And you can always click into our events page on Facebook in order to join in and ask questions as part of the audience. We rarely do a ticketed event on Zoom, because we found that while it may encourage sales at the outset, they shriek to a halt because there's no long tail for the book. There's no chance of your discovering one of the authors or one of the events weeks afterward. And so we really are grateful for your support, which has allowed us to do what in part is really a service as well as a retail operation, so that people all around the world can enjoy our conversations with authors. Our Podmaster tells us that after the United States, we have a huge audience in Australia and one in England. And I think that's great that we are able to share all this with people all over the globe. Thanks very much. Bye.